I'm sure you've heard the words DEI before. I'm sure if you're black or anybody in the community of the LGBTQ, you've heard these terms before. And I'm sure if you're clicking on this video and you're seeing that the DEI issue is the main proprietor of the video, the main gripping point of the video, I'd like to talk about it before I get into the minutia of what I want to talk about. So, I didn't know what this meant. For a long time, I had no idea what this meant, and I've discovered upon speaking to some people that are reasonable, they have explained to me that when you make your entire identity being black or make your entire identity being homosexual, that is what they mean by DEI. I understand that now. I have been talking to people, I just want to get a good idea of people that are sensible and people that want to talk about the conversation topics. What I usually see, and this is what a lot of people believe when they see about the extremists, are people that use this list. This list is all the games on Steam that are DEI, are woke. They use these terms interchangeably, and it has disgusted me indefinitely. There's a bunch of list of games that are just, oh, well, this game contains pro-DEI, there's a black woman in the game. For instance, in Star Wars Battlefront 2, contains overtly pro-DEI messaging featuring female frontline combatants, the campaign player characters, and Imperial Special Forces commander who is a woman of color. So, these are the extremists. To me, this is extremely extreme. And I would say that this is an outlier, but this is the most vocal group. They're deeply angry at what is happening with their games, their culture. They're upset with it. And there's a bunch of games, 1,546 games. And this is insane. This is psychotic. Now there's another thing where it's the whole thing says, oh, this contains no woke content. Prototype 2, despite having a black protagonist, which is in the full review, despite having a black protagonist, there is no woke culture. Now, upon seeing this Prototype 2 immediately, I discovered how they want to be viewed, and I want to explain how they want to be viewed. They don't care if the character is black. They care when being black is the entire course of the character. That is what they care about. Older characters, the black guy will be in the background, and he'd just be there, and the strong white lead would be there. So, they are just scared of their whiteness being attacked, and that's what I'm discovering. And they're being told that love of their white pride is being viewed as hate, and white supremacy is what I've discovered. And I've spoken to these people for the past 2 weeks, and I'm discovering that they have been hated so much that they chose to hate back. They're fighting fire with fire and making an eye for an eye and now making the whole world blind. How is it making the whole world blind? Well, Trump revoked the illegal discrimination and restoring merit-based opportunity. Just based on merits. Based on merits. And this is a fun idea. A fun idea. If not the systems put in place based on merit-based things, we're not already against people of colors and minorities, because you can have this happen for sure. You can say that it's merit-based 100% and not hire based off DEI 100%. You could do that and base it purely off merits. However, people are still individually racist. One by one, people are still racist. Racism just doesn't exist. It's still there. People can still be racist. People can still be prejudiced. People can have explicit biases towards things. Those things were put in place so people couldn't use their personal biases in order to be racist, to not hire people. Now they don't have to, and they can just be racist. That's why they were put in place. Which is something I'm not grasping, an issue that I don't get. And I understand both sides right now. I'm grasping both sides. I get the side that is sick of, okay, he's gay and that's his entire character. Yeah, okay, I get that. I understand. I don't want to see strong women. Women are supposed to be feminine and petite. Okay, that's where I don't understand. Women aren't supposed to be feminine and petite, and women can just be human. You're separating it too deeply. You can just have strong people in general. Yeah, but men are supposed to be strong. I understand the race swapping issue deeply. I grasp that. I grasp when you saw Little Mermaid and you flipped the script, or maybe you saw How to Train Your Dragon and you said, wait a second, this was a blonde girl turned to a black woman with dreads. I understand why you were angry, because you deeply are going to watch that movie. Aren't you going to watch How to Train Your Dragon? You're going to see the movie. That's what you're going to do. I grasp it. And I'm not saying that either side is deeply incorrect. I'm saying the vocal minority that the most vocal is makes both of you guys seem like absolute lunatics. One, you can't hate a piece of media and art just because it has a black person in it. You can't hate the new Space Marines just because there's a woman as a Space Marine. You can't do that. That's ridiculous. You cannot despise the entirety of a whole franchise just because there's one gay guy in it. That's ridiculous. That's psychotic. That's just homophobic. Well, gay is unnatural. It's not real in the eyes of God. I grasp that. Sure. Christian values, 100%. It is not right in the eyes of God. I'll give you that. You're 100% correct. I'm not even going to disagree with you. You're 100% correct. However, people are still people. Just because you disagree with it doesn't mean the world has to disagree with it. We have to move forward. We have to accept all people different despite what they have differences with. If I like pineapples on pizza and you don't, it doesn't mean you hate me. Me sleeping with men doesn't affect you at all. It really doesn't. You got to understand that. You got to grasp that. But I don't want my kids to see it. Then show your kids other things. But it's in their schools. You can show them other things still. School isn't the only proprietor of everything. School isn't the only influence. You yourself also can be a parent. You don't care about kids unless it is talking about the conversation, because school shootings are still happening and the price of eggs is $4. Paid $4 for eggs today, by the way. Upset me deeply. We're not focusing on the real issues. And the people on the left that say, oh, I hate you because you were born white. You are inspiring and stoking the flame of these psychopaths. The more you sound like a psychopath, they're going to retaliate with insanity as well. That's what happens. It's a Ouroboros, a self-feeding snake. That's all that's happening. That's all I'm witnessing. So the DEI issue is caused by both sides. That's what's happening. There's the people on the anti-woke crowd are saying, well, I need this to happen because guess what? I need a strong white male lead, a submissive woman, and that's a good game. That's a good game. That's a good piece of media. I'm sick of seeing the fact that I have black coworkers, and I'm sick of seeing the fact that I can't be offensive. People want to say whatever they want to say. That's what happens. When people feel like they're being restricted or being taken aback, they retaliate. That's what happens. That's all that's going on. People feel restricted and it's been building up inside of their stomach the entire time, and now they're angry. That's what's happening. They are angry. And the reason it feels so vocal and why Trump won and all this happening, because majority of America is white. Majority of America is the very people that you've been saying are evil for being born. And if you keep telling people they're evil for being born, they're going to retaliate. That's just the reality of the situation. But they grabbed my ancestors and took them over here. They did. 100%. That happened. And you are here now. And that's what's going on. That's the reality of the world. And the rest of the world genuinely doesn't care. The rest of the world is looking at us like we're doing stupid infighting. The rest of the world is looking at us and saying the N-word, and they don't care. They don't care if it's progressive. They don't care about getting canceled. Japan doesn't care. China doesn't care. Australia definitely doesn't care. It's Australia. It definitely doesn't care. And the people on the left that are actively doing all this hate parading and saying, we gotta attack these people and do these horrible things, you are inspiring them. Nobody is being kind in this situation. There is no kindness on either side. Both sides are angry and spitting vitriol and just arguing for the sake of arguing, and it is dumb. It is stupid, and it is psychotic. The DEI issue is the issue of humans. It's because people don't want to accept people's differences. This is disgusting, and it's weird. Oh, it's so weird. It's such a strange situation that's happening, because it's as if you guys are ignoring the bigger issues. I want to point this out. There's an entire list of these woke games, right? A whole list of them. There's a whole list of all these games. They're like, oh, this informational. Sonic DX Director's Cut has this. Sam Max has it. This contains information about that. Oh, wait a second. Shown to be capable of fighting. What was it? Bodeca is a frontline combatant shown to be capable of fighting one-on-one with officers of the Roman Legion. That doesn't make any sense. This is an insane statement. All these statements are insane. It's a video game. It's a fantasy world. It's insane. Some of these reviews for these games, like Resident Evil 3, the remake made substantial changes to Jill's character in the events to restore her often was changed for practicality reasons. They just are mad they don't show her breasts more. Literally, that's the issue. If you scroll through, you can find so many small little strange things. Mortal Kombat 11 contains overtly pro-DEI endings. Jack's endings has him preaching about racism against black people in the U.S. He was trying to fix it because he can't wait for people to get woke. This is such an insane review. All these are just psychotic, and this is the vocal minority. This is what people are seeing. This is what they see. And you would think, how could somebody agree with any of these things? Because if you're hated for how you're born, if you were despised for being white, if you were despised for being black, if you were despised for being Asian, hate begates hate. And when you continually push hate onto people, that's what happens. We are planting trees for our own shade. Truly great societies plant trees whose shade they will never know the comfort of. That is what we must do, and we are not doing that. All we are doing is infighting for no good reason. It feels dumb. It feels idiotic. It feels as if we are not seeing the bigger picture here. They're making us all fight against each other. All the smaller groups fighting against each other. While the big people at the top, the oligarchy, all these big people eating, eating on our misery. They're having a great time. Oh, they're so concerned about racial politics and banter. They don't even see that we're robbing them blind. They don't see that we're robbing them blind. They don't see that we're raising the price of rent. They don't see that the California fires insurers didn't go through. This is what's happening. Because they can just stoke a little bit of the race flame, and guess what happens? Oh, guess what? Oh, you guys are arguing against each other over race again. Oh, this is so great. Why is it always that? Why is it always that? And neither side is good. Neither side's correct. The left always preaches, oh, we all love each other. It's so great. It's so good. It's so good. I love everything that is on the side of love and peace and harmony. Except, and then they get their personal biases because it's not a community group effort. And on the right, they're bad too. You guys are bad too. Both of you guys suck. I don't know if you know this, but both of you guys really suck. And it's making me agitated because it's like we can all come together and take out the bigger threats. We outnumber them, dude. We outnumber them. Do you guys know that we outnumber them? We outnumber them drastically. We have such a large, disgusting, big influence. We outnumber them. We do. All these rich people and the POTUS and the Congress and all these senators, we outnumber the politicians, dude. What are they gonna do? Really, what are they gonna do? Nothing. There is no solidarity amongst humans to actively take out our oppressors, our unopposable oppressors. There's never a collective front to do so. It is us infighting about the most worthless things. It is dumb. Oh, you act white. Ha 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 ha. Oh, you're acting black. How disgusting. Oh, you're Asian. You can't drive. Oh, you're Mexican. You must work really hard. This is stupid. This is dumb. The people on the right are deeply upset by the fact of the matter of they felt their speech is being limited and they've been retaliating the entire time. You know what's very funny to me? I think about this all the time. Someone said to me, and I think about this, they said, oh my God, this is the worst it's ever been. Gaming culture has never been this racist. I'm sorry, have you never been a part of gaming culture ever? Gaming culture has always been predominantly white men, has been sexist. Have you seen the first Game Awards? Have you ever seen the first Game Awards? Girl in a bikini comes out, barely any video games. All the games back in the day were made for white men. That was basically what it was. And when you went online, when you finally got to speak to these people, they called you the F slur, the R slur. They called me the N word. They said they were sleeping with my mom. That's what it was. Gaming culture has always been violent and horrifically racist and misogynistic and homophobic. That has been gaming culture for years. That's what it's always been. Gaming culture has never been this accepting, amazing, immaculate place. Gaming culture and anime culture alike have been the two places where it's the most racist, sexist, depraved people. That's what it's always been. White nerdy dudes saying the N-word behind their computers and being really good at video games and making people mad and saying the worst things. That's what it's always been. That is what it's always been. I do not know why people think it has not been that. Go join a Halo 2 lobby. Join an Overwatch lobby right now. Put the voice chat on. Join a Valorant lobby. Put the voice chat on. Play League of Legends in 2012. Do that. Do that for a second. I'm telling you, well, 2014 was when I joined and actually played. But let me tell you right now, and this is very important, gaming culture has always been white male dominated. I remember when women start playing video games. I remember when there was this whole hyper fantasy of, I wish girls played video games. Do you guys remember that hyper fantasy? You guys remember that whole span of time where they were praying for a woman to actually play a video game and discover that girls actually do play video games? They were just in their small little cultures and their small little things and all their small little holes. And then they start saying, well, you're not a real gamer because you play Animal Crossing. You're not a real gamer because you play Mario. You're not a real gamer because of this, of XYZ, of that. And then women start playing Fortnite. Now they consider Fortnite a women's game. I don't know why that even became a topic of debate for 2 years. It was a 2-year debate about Fortnite being a women's game. And they said Call of Duty is for men. And then Call of Duty Warzone became a free game to play. And then they were saying, oh, well, women are playing it because it's free. And then I lost to a woman in Tekken. And I was happy about it. And the guy behind me said, wow, you lost to a girl. And then he proceeded to lose against her in Tekken. Welcome to the real world. People play video games. Yes, some of the top streamers in the world are mostly men. Why is that? Why is the top comedians and the top women, well, the top comedians, the top streamers, top YouTubers, why are they all men? Well, if women were truly great, they'd be at the top. Wrong. It's because men have dominated for so long. That's the issue. That's what's going on. And I'm not trying to be a white knight or some hyper feminist. I'm really not. I don't want to be that. That's not me. I'm telling you the reality of the situation is, the simple fact of the matter is that women have been pushed to the back. And now they're actually getting a voice in gaming. They're getting video games. They're getting lead roles. You don't want them in lead roles because they're not sexy enough for you. You can't use them as beat-off material. You can't goon to them. Oh my god, how am I supposed to get hard to this? This is ridiculous. Oh, Nier Automata has a feature in which you can see some butt. Huh, I love Stellar Blade. Stellar Blade is amazing because the protagonist has jiggle physics. Look at the jizzle physics. Look at the Hoyoverse. Look at the entirety of the gacha system. They just make characters disgustingly horny in Zenless Zone Zero. They make characters disgustingly provocative. That's all they do. Look at the cute white-skinned anime girl. This is a perfect wife. This disgusting, realistic woman is disgusting. It baffles me. It breaks my brain. It breaks my weak, little, fragile, obviously messed up frontal lobe because I'm black and my hair is restricted, because that's what you guys keep saying to me. It breaks my brain that this happens so often. Huh, you're an articulate black. I guess I'll humor you for a little bit, is what I keep hearing from people. This is vitriolic. To berate people off virtue of their race, on either side, by the way. And I know you're angry. Oh, you're pissed. You're very pissed because you are getting your voice restricted. You just want to outrage. You want to give them how you feel back at them because you're a child. Because you have the mentality of a preschool bully. I fell, so everybody else has to fall. I got hurt, so everybody else has to get hurt. The only way they're going to learn is pain. My mother yelled at me, so I yell at the kids at school. I'm gonna beat my kids because I'm strong, because I was beat as a child. You are fighting hate with hate, and you are losing the war because you are doing it so often that you don't even consider, that there's a bigger issue out there. You don't even consider it for 1 second, and you're weak, disgusting, fragile, just very limited, worthless little life. Just consider for 1 second that you could actively make a proactive change. I don't care about being progressive. I don't care about being non-offensive. I really don't. You're fucking stupid. The war against each other, against the masses of the smaller people that we're not even middle class. We're not even middle class, dude. We're lower middle class. A lot of us are in poverty, living paycheck to paycheck, same as that. If you want to relate to pain, if you want pain to be the relating factor, have the pain of not being able to afford things. Have the pain of not being able to afford groceries or rent and struggling paycheck to paycheck and telling yourself, I gotta tie up those bootstraps, and you refuse to go to therapy because you're stupid and you think you can handle it yourself. And you think that, oh, they're just therapy terms. The therapist, what's he gonna tell me? You gonna tell me about myself? You're dumb. You're actively stupid. Why are you doing this? What do you gain? What is your issue? What are you gaining? Nothing. Be a person and exist in this reality with me. I love you, but you're making it really hard to like you for a second. It's very difficult. Now, I'm not just talking about you on the right. Oh, I'm talking about you on the left too. Oh, you are so agitated on the left. The instant a new gender or sexuality gets released and somebody doesn't accept that value immediately, you blow a gasket. And it's introspective. It's one-on-one. The world doesn't have to accept you. I want to point this out. The world does not have to accept you. You have to accept yourself first. Because the only way the world's going to change is if you change too. You can't change the world because you don't want to change yourself. That's the reality of the world. That's how it operates. I know you probably have fibromyalgia. I know you have all these health issues. I know you can't get handicap pay or disability. I know it's difficult. You can't get food stamps. I know. You're probably wondering why you can't. Because the state doesn't recognize it's a real disability. Because I diagnosed myself with autism and I should get a disability check for my autism. And that's stupid too. It's dumb. I'm making enemies of everybody right now. I don't care. This is the most depraved, lunatic nonsense that I've ever dealt with in my entire life. Because we could have a strong nation state. We could have one nation united under each other. But you refuse because of religion, because of differences in sex, because of differences in race, because of differences in gender. You guys want to argue about things that, guess what? Third world countries can't even have the luxury of arguing against. I'm from a third world country. You know what we argued about? Nothing. Nothing. We just worked and we prayed that with our families that we could probably get something. We couldn't even find any gods because we couldn't read the Bible. We didn't have anything. It was nothing. It was destitute and it was broken. I hate this. I hate what the world is becoming so much. The reason I got a vasectomy was because I had a deep fear that I was right about how the world and the direction was heading with the internet. That's why I got a vasectomy. Got a vasectomy 10 years ago at 18, which is also another issue because women can't do that. Women can't get their tubes tied or a hysterectomy at 18. What if you want to have kids? What if your husband wants to have kids? Stupid questions. Dumb, idiotic. I hate doctors for that. I got a vasectomy immediately. Why? I never wanted to bring children into this plane of existence with people like the ones that are the vocal minority that are probably going to be in the comment section of this video. They're probably going to argue with me. They're probably going to send me death threats after the video like you always do. And I'm going to deal with it. And I'm going to keep posting content. And I'm going to be here. I'm going to be here for all of it. For every second of it. I'm going to be here for every single second of it. And I'm going to keep posting while you hide behind that screen. I'm going to keep posting every day. I'm going to keep posting every second. I'm going to keep posting every thought that I have because I have to when my brain is full. It's the brand of the channel, by the way. I post when my brain is full. And I'm full of pity. Everyone's pitiful. It's pitiful. The arguing that you see. The nonsense. You know what's crazy? You're not doing activism. You're not doing activism by arguing with rage bait. You're not doing activism by arguing with rage bait. You're not. People don't want to be kind because they view that as a weakness. Love is a vulnerability, but it is not a weakness. It is the only currency that functions in reverse because it's the only currency that you get more of by giving away. That is the only way it should work. And the fact that you are so daft that you refuse to exist with me as humans, because my hair is different than yours, my skin is different than yours, or maybe you want people to accept you for who you are, and nobody's accepting you for who you are, so you hate them. They didn't respect my pronouns. They didn't respect the fact that I'm a she now. Who cares? It's your identity. You accept it and be happy with it. Why are you trying to convince the world of yourself? Well, that's because we need legislation put in place for all these other things. Stop that. Stop right there. Stop. If you want to do that, go the correct route, go the legal route, and actively have a conversation about it, and then go the legal loophole way, become a politician, and get your rights pushed by gathering a rally behind it. If you really care about it that deeply. The world will never accept you. You have to accept that. The world doesn't care about you, so you have to care about yourself. To you guys on the right, to you guys on the left, thinking there's only two sides to every issue, like a child does. Oh, well, if there's the right solution, then there's the wrong solution. That's not true. Let's take, for example, something really basic. 2 plus 2. 0 plus 4 gets you to 4. 3 plus 1 gets you to 4. 2 plus 2 gets you to 4. I just separated 2 plus 2. We can do it even better than that. 1.5 plus 2.5. Oh, we got 4 again. That's amazing. 2.8 and 1.2. Oh my god, did we get 4 again? There are multiple solutions to every issue on this planet. Thousands upon millions of solutions. And we only think there's 2 to everything. I'm sick. I'm just sick. You guys make my stomach hurt and ruin my day. I'm not even gonna thank you for existing.